GameStop. So I was on GameStop originally. I was attempting to buy some games because they had a deal where you buy two get one free on pre-owned PS4 and Xbox One games. So I was like, all right, bet. Let me go see what they got, right? And I'm looking, and I see like Infamous Second Son, and it's like $16. And while that's not something crazy, I was like, this game is, while it's a great game in my opinion, it shouldn't be $16. This game should be like $5.99 or something, at most. And I'm looking online, it's like I see on like the market price value, I see like max like $7, like maximum $7. And I'm like, that's not the only thing. I went to a bunch of different games, and it's like they took the market price and doubled it in some cases, or like just above market price. And I just, and then seeing before I turned the camera on, I saw the news about GameStop stopping pre-orders on Pokemon trading TCG, and seeing them raise the prices for Pokemon TCG to like market level prices. And a lot of the debate is like that I feel like how I see it is that, like GameStop said, part of the reason is they want more people inside the door, because the more people who are inside the door, the more you're going to buy something, or the more they can sell you the pro membership, right? Because yes, online when you're shopping like I was, you can sign up for pro membership and you'll see all the banners, and you get the emails barrage and all that stuff. But you can just click out of that and keep it moving, or you're distracted, or whatever. When you're in store, those employees sell it to you hard. You'll have stuff and like, hey, if you add a couple more stuff, you get that 250 threshold, you get $25 off, but you only get that if you get the pro membership. And with the pro membership, you get $5 off coupon every month. And with that, and then with this, and these points, and this amount of money will give you these points. And with this points, you can get another coupon. I know how it works. I used to work retail. It's been about 7 to 8 years or so since I've worked in retail, but I've worked in some retail spots that sell credit cards to people, or sell loyalty rewards to people, or both. God forbid both. And so I know how it works. There's some, like Kohl's does it, where cashiers are expected to sell a certain amount of credit cards, or get a certain amount of signups, I should say, for credit cards per shift. If you don't do that, your job's in trouble, and then your ability to feed your family's in trouble. So I understand employees, like GameStop employees, trying to force loyalty rewards or whatever on you. Like, I understand they are probably under high pressure to do this per shift. And there are jobs where I've worked where it's like, if you didn't meet the goal, you had to email corporate or your district manager why you didn't meet the goal, and your ass is grass, right? Like there's issues with this. So I understand the stress and the annoyance of dealing with a bunch of grown ass people Black Friday in your store every week for these Pokemon cards, and yelling at you when there's not any, and then you having to deal with corporate about signups. I get it, right? I really do get it. So I don't blame the employees. I think another problem is, or another issue is as well, is that they can't fulfill a lot of the pre-orders. So like, we're not even going to deal with this anymore. We're done pre-order. And a lot of people, it's not just GameStop, a lot of people are not doing pre-orders anymore because there's just no way to keep up with this Pokemon craze if the Pokemon company and the distributors are moving funny, and if they can't even help GameStop of all people fulfill these orders, your average reseller, or even local comic book store or game shop won't be able to get these allocations as well. So it's going to be difficult for everybody. It's not just GameStop. And so GameStop's like, we're just not going to do it. Another thing is, and I honestly didn't know this because I don't spend too much time online, is that a bunch of GameStops are closing. It's not surprising that they're closing. Like, I told you by the way they're doing. When they started doing selling slabs, I knew they were going to be in trouble. But it's just crazy to go. I'm not going to say where I live, but where I live, there used to be a shit ton of GameStops. It used to be a GameStop at least like 2 per city. I'm talking like 2 per city. That's minimum 2 per city. Per a county, it used to be like at least 6 minimum per county. In the year 2025, there is, Yeah, there's about, on average, one GameStop per county, on average. And I don't live I live in a state where there is definitely a dense population. And there's about, no, I said one. There's like two. There's a average of two GameStops per county, right? Like, one of the counties I live in is a very quote unquote wealthy county, let's just say that. And in that county, there is now only two GameStops. There used to be, at like, when I was in college, when I graduated college in 2018, there was at least 8 GameStops, and now there's 2. And they're not close together. So, like, I went to this other GameStop that was kind of a little more lower key. That GameStop was gone. It just disappeared overnight. I don't know what happened to it. The sign is gone. They have the gray shutters down. It's just gone. It's just gone. No one knows how. That community has no GameStop. They actually have no local gaming store. There's no local game stores. There's no Best Buy. They cannot get a video game. They have to go out of their city to go get a video game. That's what it is now. So GameStop's in trouble. They're trying to get foot traffic in. I understand. Now, when it comes to the video game stuff, right? I was online. I'm just looking at this video games prices because that's what I originally wanted to make this video for. And then I drove to one of the GameStops and it's just gone. Right? The county I live in right now has one GameStop, and this is a very big ass. The county I live in is very big, and there's one GameStop. I happen to live close to it, but there's just one GameStop, and that's insane. But yeah, so I looked at these prices. I'm like, yo, I went to the GameStop. It's closed. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. It's like it got Thanos snapped and it's just gone. And then I'm looking at this and I see this Pokemon ETB stuff. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And it's just kind of crazy to me. Like, I'm like, yo, the prices are astronomical at GameStop right now. They have games that are like $5. Games were made, and I'm not talking about like Pokemon Red or some kind of like, or Pokemon Fire Red or something. You know, like those games that are like $20 or $100 on by itself, loose by itself, online, like market price. Like, I'm not talking about those games. I'm talking about Infamous Second Son. I'm talking about like The Last of Us PS3 or like whatever. I'm just talking about games that really, because it got remastered so much or whatever, they're really cheap games. Like, even market price, they're like anywhere between $2.50 to like $8 without shipping and taxes, all that. But like, it's still, and the GameStop was like, they doubled it, and it's like, it's a brick and mortar. It's a big retail chain, and it's just very interesting because GameStop used to mean something, man. GameStop used to be a beacon for nerdy ass people, man. It used to be a beacon. You remember those midnight releases? You remember? I mean, I did a movie about physical media, and part of the clips I used were news clips of the PS2 release, right? The PS2 release night and the Xbox and stuff like that. Like, it's so interesting, GameStop then versus now, what it's become. And what it's become is very unfortunate. Just like, it's, I mean, man, remember Circuit City? Remember Fry Electronics? You remember KB Toys? Remember Toys R Us? It used to be different, bro. Hell, Home Depot used to have vending machines, like snack vending machines with single booster packs in there for regular price. Not the shit you're seeing now. No, not the touchscreen, smart, none of that. They just had simple packs that are worth like $500 now were worth like $4.25. You just get it. And obviously, I'm not saying these packs, they're obviously discontinued. They're collectibles. I understand. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying that it used to be simpler times. GameStop used to sit at the pinnacle of gaming, right? You remember Game Informer? You remember Game Informer? You remember every month getting that Game Informer and then getting pumped for E3? Like, GameStop used to be such an integral part in all of that. And now it's a real fugazi ass company. A fugazi ass company. Let me make sure I enunciate all that. a fugazi ass company, is what I said. And I just can't. It just sucks. This video more than anything else, it just sucks. I understand why the prices are the way they are. I'm also a reseller. As a matter of fact, today is my 1 year anniversary of reselling. It's helped me pay bills. It's helped me stay afloat. I resell a lot of old tech, old computer parts. Like I build computers, so like you can kind of see one of them right here. That's my old computer. And so I stripped the parts of that, sold the parts because it was just like sitting here. I was going to throw it away. And I was like, oh yeah, I could just take the parts out. Someone else can use them. And I sold the parts. I built myself a new computer that I'm using to edit this video and shit. So I do stuff like that. Old school silverware, old school trading cards, like just vintage stuff as right. I like collecting vintage stuff. I like seeing vintage stuff. I like trading vintage stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll sell vintage stuff, right? And so yeah, I usually do that more than new stuff because it's just impossible to get your hands on any new trading cards these days. Because yeah, I mean, I'll never forget. I went to Walmart like maybe 7 months ago, and it was like one of the One Piece releases. And I walk into Walmart when the vendor was done. I just happened to catch the vendor. My first time ever catching the vendor out at a Walmart. I think MG Holdings does Walmart. And this dude walks in, there's a bunch of One Piece. I mean, there's like maybe 100 and something. I mean, they really stocked up on One Piece. The dude goes in, gets his cart, clears the entire shelf gone in seconds. Went to the self-checkout line with no shame. Boop, boop, boop. And the funny thing is, I was right there in front. Like, I was right there. I was literally like here. I was going to get the pack. And the dude, like, just went in front of me and just took the whole thing. And then the self-checkout line is, like, right behind the cards. So he just went to the self-checkout line. And you just see the Walmart employee just look at him. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So it's a dog-eat-dog world when it comes to trading card day releases. It just is. Unless you're a reseller who is unemployed, or you have a buddy, unless you have the time to get there in the morning and do your thing, you are not getting any TCG, bro. You're just not. Unless the hype dies down. Now, One Piece, you can definitely you'll catch a restock on a regular time. You really can. Pokemon, you cannot. If there's a new Pokemon release, bro, you're not catching that shit. You're not, bro. Especially at GameStop. And without this pre-order stuff, you're gonna have to stay in line. It's gonna be really bad. Especially like how it is now. I'm telling you, they're animals. It's the old school Black Friday where people used to kill each other over Pokemon, or used to kill each other over TVs and shit. That's what people are doing now, every couple of months for Pokemon, man. It's insane. And so GameStop not doing pre-orders is very interesting, but is a bigger problem once GameStop started doing PSA submissions and PSA cards and grading and all that shit, I already knew it was cooked. Because people trusted GameStop with that, when this is the same company that'll give you 25 cents for a PS5. You could buy a PS5 in 2020. Said, you know what, I'd rather have the Xbox, a new Xbox, but it's too late for you to return the PS5. So you're like, you know what? Let me sell this PS5 to go towards the new Xbox. And the employee will stare you dead in the face and be like, I can give you 25 cents for this, Playboy. You spend $600 for this thing, but I can only give you 25 cents. That's the type of GameStop that we trusted to not go to market price value. I blame them less than, like, I already knew the trend was going. I mean, once I walked into GameStop, because there was a point where I stopped shopping at GameStop for like a couple of years, and I walked back in, and it's pretty much Funko Pop LLC. It's just a bunch of Funko Pops, Dragon Ball radars, figures, and then there's some games. I mean, there's a GameStop in my old neighborhood where it's basically just a hallway. The GameStop is basically just a hallway. They have no music playing. They have no display, like the Switch. You know how you have the Switch Nintendo Switch displays and stuff. They don't have it. They don't have none of that. They don't even have the expensive trading cards. They have like the wax, the sealed wax. They don't have the glass case for that. They have nothing. They barely have Funko Pops. At GameStop will barely any Funko Pops. I'd be shocked if that GameStop lasts another year. I'd be shocked. If that GameStop closes, there'll only be one GameStop in one of the major counties in the United States of America. Out of all the counties, there's many of them in the United States of America, one of the richest and one of the biggest counties in America will have one GameStop. And that should let you know, that right there should let you know the state of GameStop. If nothing else, just believe what I'm saying when I tell you, if they close my old neighborhood GameStop, there will be one GameStop in one of the richest and biggest counties in America. And that is a crazy situation. That's actually a very interesting and crazy situation. And that should let you know right there that GameStop's in trouble. And I'd be shocked if the company lasts another 5 years. I'd be shocked. And the only way they can is if this new wave they're trying to capture where they become basically, remember when, I don't know if they still do it. Remember when eBay used to have like their like a store? They do like, I never went inside because I was like, I just something about eBay and store. And I'm talking about back in the day. I mean like 2008 or something like 7, 8 or some shit. Like eBay used to have store locations. I think the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin, I think one of the main, not the main character, but the girl, she used to work in one of those eBay stores. So like that store in that movie, eBay used to have stores like that. That's what GameStop's become now. GameStop's become what used to be the pinnacle of gaming, like the pinnacle of where nerds could go, to this place that's a shell of itself that is on life support, depending on the craze that is trading cards in the Lord and Savior's year of 2025. I mean, geez, man. I've never seen it. Like, bro, you go into GameStop and the cases are just ass. You buy a new game from GameStop, nothing's sealed, nothing's, I mean, I'm talking about even a brand, oh man, just nothing sealed. It's just, I mean, and trust me, if GameStop falls, the end of physical media will truly be near. And I need people to be ready for that. The end of physical media will truly be near, because you see what happened to was really, to be honest, what's happened to Best Buy, Target, and so many other stores. And you're sitting there and you realize, like, damn, they really like got rid of a lot of physical shit. And GameStop getting gone. It's like, yo, what's the point of really getting discs? I mean, it's gotten to the point now where I wouldn't be surprised if Target, Walmart, GameStop in the future, like these stores, start doing what local comic book stores are doing, which is where they're and car shops and game stores, local game stores and stuff are doing, where they're doing like what's it called, WhatsApp, or not WhatsApp, Whatnot, or whatever it's called, and they do like those live streaming services where you like live stream, you open packs and you sell the shit for like whatever. That's the future of online shop. That's the future of shopping. I mean, there's a city. I drove around here. I was going to make a podcast episode about it because it's deeper than I won't get too much into in this video because this video's already running long enough. There was a point where I went and I was driving around this major city, one of the most diverse cities in America. I was driving around it and I was like, okay, the GameStop closed, so there's no GameStop in this big ass, it's a big city. I was like, there's no GameStop in the city. There's also no Best Buy in this city. Because the Best Buy actually shut down a couple months ago. I was like, damn, the Best Buy, there's no Best Buy. And that Best Buy has been around since like the start. That Best Buy has been around for a minute and they closed that Best Buy. So that was wild. There's no GameStop, no Best Buy. I was like, bro, the only place they can go to buy any video games here is either online, their online store, or they go to Target. There's only one Target, and this is a pretty big city, so that's a lot of people. I was like, damn, that's deep. And then I was looking at the mall. There's a major mall there. That mall closed like 2 years ago, I think now. 2-3 years ago. And it had a lot of stores in it. And I was like, dude, That had an FYE in it. That had an EB Games, eventually GameStop, whatever. I'm like, dude, this city is one of the. I'm telling you, is one of the most diverse. It's a city that has a lot of people. It's dense, and I'm like, yo, it's getting to the point, and there's plenty of stores, but it's getting to the point where. Are we get to the point where we're going to get to the first, not maybe this city, but there's going to be cities out there where it's like there is no physical, you can't get physical goods in the city. Everything is just a bunch of like distribution centers or warehouses, and you just order through app, whether it's Amazon or whatever, and there's someone who's going working there who's going to get your order off their warehouse shelf or whatever, and then just drive it to your house. People already do that now with like Uber Eats and like and all that other stuff, right? All those ride share services and shit like that, right? But I'm telling you, there's gonna be a city. We're gonna get our first town or city where there's no retail stores. Everything you order has to be shipped to your house or has to be delivered to your house. I really do feel like that future is going to be sooner than later. And just seeing what I've seen from, and it's not all just off GameStop, but I'm saying like just seeing the neighborhood and seeing, it's not even a bad neighborhood, like just seeing the businesses just constantly going under, right? And not even being announced, like they're just gone. Like one day they're here, the next day they're just gone. And now you have to go 30, 40, 70 minutes to go to the closest retailer that could possibly have what you need. And it's not just about video games and nerdy shit. There's like, I'm talking about grocery stores closing. Grocery stores are so expensive. You have to go like, when you see Aldi prices, some of these and some of the other like store prices start getting a little shaky, that's how you know it's bad. So I'm like, yo, it's getting to the point where some of these stores, it's just not going to be, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good, man. And GameStop, it's hard to see something fall from grace and see how bad GameStop's become. It really has. And it just sucks that it used to be a place, man. Like, again, being my age, like, it used to really mean something. GameStop used to really mean something. And now just walking into any GameStop is really sad. And it's nothing against the employees. I've heard some things from employees, man. I've heard some things. I mean, there's employees who are doing one-on-one coverage. So meaning like they're just by themselves in the store for hours on end, trying to make a friend with any regulars that go in that store, just so they can feel something. Like, bro, GameStop is going through it, and they don't care. And the CEOs out here blaming DEI and woke practices and whatever the fuck. No, my nigga, go into any store, go into any of your damn stores, and you'll see the problem. It's 90% Funko Pop and collectibles and 10% video games. It used to be a thing where like new games come out and like or the game schedule's out and it was plastered everywhere, and anytime you go to the thing, they used to be like to check out, they used to be like, hey, before you check out, like, is there any game you want that's coming out that you want to pre-order? Maybe the Call of Duty, Madden, whatever. Maybe you can put $5 down for deposit. They don't even do that no more. They're just like, man, fuck out of here, man. Like, do you want to sign up for a pro membership? Do you want to sign up for a pro membership or not? No? All right, get the fuck out of my store, man. And again, there's nothing to do with the employees. I understand and know that if they didn't have to do it, I promise you, they would not give a fuck and they would not ask. But they have to. It got to the point now where I really do want to make an actual sit down, like video of the memory of GameStop, or my memories of GameStop. I really do want to do a series on like stores that have either been long gone, like Circuit City or Toys R Us, stores like that, and just do like a trip down memories lane. Maybe that's what the series will call, trip down memory lane, with some of these stores. And just seeing where it used to be and where it's at now and stuff like that. So, but GameStop, man, rest in peace, because these prices, G, nah, man. Comment below, let me know your fondest memory of GameStop. It's not dead, but it's definitely on life support.